Good afternoon, folks. This is Deb Delapiano, and this is your short take. So before we go any further, just let me make this one quick announcement. Dave is really sick, and I'm not feeling real good today, so there will be no Factivist report this week. We will pick up again next week. We're talking about the election. The last one we did was about the Senate. We've got some more Senate seats to talk about. We'll do that on Sunday, coming Sunday, okay? But there'll be plenty of videos during this week to keep you all amused. Today, however, we're going to talk about, again, the GOP and Russia, because I can't possibly overstate the willingness of the GOP to forsake all of our strategic allies in order to prostrate themselves at the foot of Mother Russia and Vladimir Putin. I honestly, I've been on the planet for 70 years, okay? I've never seen anything like this in my life, and I've never seen, honestly, I've never seen people just, I don't know whether they're not paying attention or what, but we need to talk, okay? So the GOP House, which insisted that the Ukrainian bill, the bill to fund Ukraine, as it, struggles to fight off Russia, had to be tied to some kind of border solution. The Democrats gave them what they wanted, and they still couldn't pass the bill. They couldn't pass the bill because Donald Trump told them they didn't want them to pass the bill. And Donald Trump was only too proud to accept ownership for that decision. He went on there publicly and stated that at one of his rallies. Now, we separated the bills. We put Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan all in one bill. It passed the Senate. All the erstwhile Speaker of the House had to do was put it on the floor for a vote. And what did he do? He sent the Congress home until, I believe, the 28th. I'm not sure what the date is, but they're on hiatus, which means this bill is sitting stagnant now. This is unconscionable, folks. It is very much a refusal to govern. That is what's going on with the House GOP. That is what's going on with MAGA America. All right? Now, let me make something clear here. These people are traitors, okay? We had Donald Trump last week just basically state publicly that he would have no problem with Russia attacking NATO countries that don't pay their bills. He would not do anything to help those people out. This is coming from a man who hasn't paid his taxes, hasn't paid E. Jean Carroll yet, fleeced an entire city to make his businesses look bigger than what they are, doesn't pay his attorneys. And he's out there pontificating about countries who don't pay enough for their own defense. He can shut the fuck up, okay? He's a traitor. End of story. The GOP that is encouraging Vladimir Putin, they're traitors. Now, let's talk about, real quick, let's talk about our friend Tucker Carlson, who allowed Vladimir Putin, 2 hours at least, to just misrepresent everything on the planet for his own political benefit. The notion that Tucker Carlson is a journalist is nonsense. He's a propagandist. And he's also, as far as I'm concerned, a Putin sympathizer. He's another traitor. Vladimir Putin had a choice between being interviewed between Christiane Amanpour and Tucker Carlson. Who the fuck do you think he was going to pick? He certainly wasn't going to pick Amanpour. She's actually a real journalist. Tucker Carlson can't find his own asshole with a flashlight and a mirror. This country is headed down the path of destruction if the American people are not vigilant and awake. The GOP went on vacation, but you know what? Dictators don't go on vacation. And this war started actually back in 2014 when Russia invaded Crimea, annexed it, and took it away from the Ukraine. And it cracks me up when I hear people say, like Tucker Carlson, say that Vladimir Putin wants peace. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. If he wanted peace, he would have left things the way they were. He would have left Crimea alone, and he would have left the Ukraine alone. There are people being killed in the Ukraine right now because they don't have enough weapons, while Russia gets its weapons from Iran and North Korea. North Korea, another favorite of Donald Trump, along with, Viktor Orban and Jair Bolsonaro and Giorgia Meloni in Italy. The GOP is telling you right out to your face what they are. They are Putin pocket pals. They are authoritarian wannabes. The reason that they pay homage to Putin is because that's what they want here. They love his policies on gay people. They love his policies on women. And not one of them has stood up and said a word about Alexander Navalny's death. A man found with chemical burns and poison. And yet he died from what, sudden death syndrome in prison? That's another Putin murder. He's done this before. He's poisoned people. This is not uncommon for despots. Same thing with Saudi Arabia. Another favorite of the Donald Trump family, actually. It's mind-boggling to me that all we have paid attention to now since the end of the last trial where Judge Engoron, delivered the verdict to Trump. The only thing we focused on are these fucking gold sneakers. And in the meantime, we have a whole host of problems going on here, but we can only post about the gold sneakers everywhere. If we're not posting about the gold sneakers, we're posting about, Taylor Swift, which, is a positive thing, but people, we have real issues going on here. And Taylor Swift's romance isn't one of those things that really is going to make or break our democracy. Donald Trump is a grifter. Why anybody is surprised that he's selling his mugshot or his sneakers or whatever it is, he's been grifting for decades. His father was a grifter before him. It's in his DNA. And lying and authoritarian rule, that is in the DNA of MAGA Republicans. Forget the sneakers, forget all this bullshit. It's meaningless. Making memes is a lot of fun, but it doesn't get you very far. You ought to be out there. I know this sounds ridiculous because, people don't want to do this shit. You need to be out there talking about getting the vote out for the Democrats come November. Or this is all over here. And don't think this is going to work itself out, because it isn't. We have a party that spends its time filing legislation in this country that looks like what Russia does in their country. We have a party that is not ashamed and not afraid to pay fealty to Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin. One entire half of our government is already operating in authoritarian mode. And if they are given the reins of power, you will see that they will turn their backs on our allies in favor of Vladimir Putin. And that will be our demise here, because that is how our safety is maintained. Wake up, America, and do it fast. I'll talk to you all later.